Hey guys, my name's Mary Lily.
I'm Marshall.
And I'm Caitlin.
And we're the hosts of
Unveiled Opinions.
Three newlywed girlies with a podcast on any and everything wedding related.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
How's it going?
It is good. Just, another sunny Monday. At least it's not raining.
Yeah. No rain, sunshine. It is full spring here.
It really is. Thank God.
Yeah. Seriously. You went somewhere, was it colder in New York this weekend?
It was. So Gil and I went to New York for like 3 nights and it was like in the 50s there. But it was nice because you're walking around so much, you don't want to be hot. And it was kind of nice too. Just I had like little faux fur and I wore that everywhere. And it was just,
yeah,
it was fun to just kind of bebop around and, not be sweating. But
yeah.
it was a good time. Lots of good food. I feel like I probably gained 10 pounds just being there.
I feel like you can count on. Yeah. And anytime you go on vacation, that's a guarantee.
Oh, yeah.
And then New York does have such good food.
Yeah. And it's all I ate cannolis and pizza and pasta and stuff like that. So it was a lot of fun. But yeah, it was a lot colder there. So I don't know when they get warm weather. It's not right now.
Not the South.
No, it's not like North Carolina.
No.
And you were somewhere too, right?
Yeah, we went to Marco Island, so it was warmer.
Yeah, that is warm.
It was actually cold, though.
Was it cold for the beach?
Cold for the beach. Cold for the beach.
Okay, yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah.
It was really windy. I know I shouldn't complain. I'm such a brat, but I just did not pack appropriately.
Yeah. No, it was really windy in New York too, super windy.
Yeah.
Or even the people in the hotel were cover up your ears.
Oh my God. That's funny.
So I wonder if there was some sort of storm or something.
Yeah, some type of weather pattern rolling through.
I don't know much about weather, but
Me neither. But yeah, no, it was nice to see the sun, and the sun is very much stronger there. So
do you get burned or anything?
Apparently your skin's more sensitive.
Oh yeah. I have heard that.
Yeah. So
that might be a yes.
Can confirm.
Yeah.
Yeah. But hey, I feel like I got a great base in most areas. And then there's just one area that has a nice crispy
peely.
Peely is the right word. Kyle was like, take care of that new skin, why don't you? It's so gross.
My gosh. I know.
So yeah, good times. And now we're back.
We are back.
We're down one. Mary Lily's still on her house project journey.
Yes, she is, but she'll be back soon.
Yeah, we love that for her.
I know.
So, and we have 2 more episodes in our gifting series.
Yes. What's up today?
Today is I feel like, I don't know, when I talk to brides and whatnot, one of the more asked about questions, which is bridesmaids gifts.
Yes, very important.
Very important. And this is definitely kind of silly and a little corny, but March 25th is apparently National Bridesmaids Day. So if you're listening to this, you missed it. But
yes, we did too, though, because I was not aware.
I didn't know it was a day. So I was scrolling and it popped up. And I was like,
yeah. I would love to know how old that day is, how long that's been around. That seems very recent.
It feels new.
It feels fresh.
Yeah. So yeah, happy belated National Bridesmaids Day to all who celebrate.
Right. Well, bridesmaids do a lot, so I guess it's good for them to be rightfully appreciated as well.
Yeah, exactly. But the one thing that has been around for a while as a tradition are the bridesmaids gifts.
Very true, especially with social media in the last, I don't even know, definitely 5+ years.
Yeah.
I feel like the bridesmaids gifts are a big part of social media.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I think they've changed too, because I remember when I was planning my wedding, my mother-in-law was like, oh yeah, her daughter had bought everyone their bridesmaids dresses for
Yes.
as a gift, and I was like, holy shit, I can't afford that. Like that.
I know. And I think I like still see comments every once in a while on TikTok and stuff that they like, that's the gift, like, you know, the
Yeah,
bridesmaid's
it
dress, which that
still
is,
is. I
yeah,
think.
I feel like it's not as common, but I've heard about it some. But yeah, I remember even in my cousin's wedding, I was like a junior bridesmaid.
Mhm.
She got all of her bridesmaids like the pearl necklaces or whatever that they wore the day of. And I think she like paid for them to get their nails done.
Yeah.
I think that's what it was. I got a Furby personally because I was 8 and that's what I
Oh,
wanted.
I was like,
Like the
I'm
Furby
sorry.
toy. Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
like, are you saying a Furbo? Like a
Nope,
dog
nope.
treat launcher?
I got a Furby and my mom was like, "Why would you ask for that?" And I was like, "I wanted it." And she asked me what I wanted. So there we are.
Cheapest gift ever.
I know. And she was like so excited. And now I know why that thing was like $40. Like that's all I wanted.
That's hilarious. I didn't
I
even know
know.
they were $40. I would have guessed lower.
As you should. As you should.
Well, today we're going to dig into what actually makes a bridesmaid's gift memorable, if it's not going to be a stuffed animal. Creative and meaningful ways that don't feel like it's just like the wedding merch. And then how to personalize gifts for your bridesmaids, because I think that can be hard of like
Yeah.
this person, like we talked about with the groomsmen of like some people drink, some people don't drink. How do you like just do something that feels relevant that's not like totally having to recreate the wheel for every person?
Exactly. Yeah, because sometimes like one blanket gift doesn't work for everyone.
Exactly. And one of the things that I saw when I was researching was the kind of concept or difference of a bridesmaid's gift versus a bridesmaid's thank you.
Yeah, that's true. It's like, do you make them all in one or
Yeah.
I know it's like, do you separate it kind? Because I guess I'm trying to think back to when I got married. We had the bridesmaids. You know how you do the bridesmaids luncheon?
Yes.
I did it. I actually did it a couple of weeks before my wedding
Mm-hmm.
so that people wouldn't have to come down
Sure.
an extra day early. And I gave them like their little thank you gift at the luncheon or like the brunch that we did.
Yeah.
And then it was like definitely kind of like a smaller gift than the bridesmaid gift that they got the day of the wedding.
Yeah.
So I guess I split it up some.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's an interesting point. I don't even think I like in my head was thinking that like when I did it.
Yeah, I don't think I like consciously thought about it, but then when I was thinking back, I was like, oh, I guess I did somewhat that.
Yeah.
And that's what they said is like the gift is something personalized for the time, money, and energy that they've spent.
Yeah.
And so you can kind of think of like the robes, the jewelry, the experiences, something given often before the wedding.
Mm-hmm.
And then the thank you is like, okay, an appreciation for something that was like done on the wedding day or like through the wedding process, and can sometimes be after the wedding and is like most often like smaller and more of just like a thank you note or a small token.
Right.
And
Yeah.
momentum.
Probably something more like heartfelt.
Yeah.
Gifty.
Yeah. So just something to keep in mind as you are thinking about your bridesmaids' gifts is like, I know for me, I just did as like the thank you, I did like very long personalized thank you notes to everyone afterwards. Cause I was like, I want to like cap, like, I don't know what you're going to do.
Yeah.
Not that I expected
like,
anybody not to do like
I know.
to do anything bad, but
then you never know, like if someone like the day of the wedding does like something extra, like you know, gotta wait for that.
Exactly. So what did you do in terms of like the gift, thank you, all the things?
So for the bridesmaid luncheon that we did, like I said, a couple weeks before, it was a brunch for all the bridesmaids, like kind of in their honor. Not all of them could come, but most of them did, I believe. And then so obviously like we got like paid for the brunch and stuff. My mom, she like kind of threw the whole thing. And
Mhm.
then I got them these little like handkerchiefs that said like no ugly crying.
Mhm.
And like I think it was white and they had like I think like a navy like or the blue that we had in our wedding, like the trim.
Yeah.
And then I got them like a mini mascara that was
Mhm.
like, but
That's
if you
cute.
do like, like touch up with this. And then I wrote them a note, just like, like
Yeah.
thank you for being my friend, like and doing all this and everything. So that's what I gave them at the actual like brunch that was for them. But then for the day of the wedding, that was like more, I have it all actually listed of
Look at you,
what
so
I had to like
prepared.
go back and look and see because it's been a hot minute. But like, so for the bridesmaid gift bags, I gave them to them the day of the wedding. So they were in
Okay.
like the getting ready suite.
Yeah.
I thought about doing it before, but I was like, I'm that bridesmaid that always like forgets
Forgets.
something. So I was like, let me just make it easy and have it all there for them. So everything was in like this black tote that I got from Amazon. Like I didn't spend a lot of money on the bag because I was like,
Yeah.
they just need somewhere to put stuff.
Yeah.
I got black slippers for getting ready, the black PJs for getting ready. And then I do remember I sent out beforehand like a Google like poll or something,
Yeah.
anonymous one, so they could like fill out their sizes and like
Yeah.
then also I asked them if they would prefer like shorts or long
Mhm.
pants or whatever, because everyone has different preferences. So that's like what
Yeah.
I got based on that. I think the big thing I got for them, I got them YSL lipsticks with their initials or names like engraved on them because the
Yeah.
engraving part's like actually free. I like
Uh,
saw a video and I'm like, that's so cute.
yeah.
But like it's like kind of like a token that they can take. And I think that was another thing. I was like, what lipstick color do you like to wear? So I
Yeah.
tried to match what they liked. I got them a blanket because we got married in November. So I was like,
Yeah.
just I like, and like you're there a long time, like the day
Yeah.
of. I got them a pashmina. I know some people like bring their own like furs and stuff, but like,
Yeah.
like my sister-in-law came from Florida. Like
Yeah. She
she
was like not, it was
didn't.
like me
Yeah,
going to Florida.
exactly. I got them, let's see, a little like just like cute little coffee tumbler, like something,
Yeah.
to drink out of, lip mask. Then we got married in Polly's Island. So I got them. It's called A Little Book About Polly's. Like you
Yeah.
get like the hammock shops and stuff
Yeah.
down there. And it was just like kind of like the history, like, recipes, stuff like
Mhm.
that. I got them the like local saltwater taffy. And then I also got them a garment bag to put their bridesmaid's dress in that my sister-in-law, she has like a Cricut. So she monogrammed all of them for me with like the little decal. And I got them a
Mhm.
hanger to put
Cute.
their, because like I said, I was always that bridesmaid that came in with no garment bag, like no hanger, just like last
Yeah.
minute, nothing. So
Yeah.
I tried to make it like as easy for them, but like stuff that they might like want to use that day or
Yeah.
after. And then I felt like the lipstick was kind of like the nice item. So
Yeah.
that's what I did.
That's fun. Yeah. I
Yeah.
remember Mary Lily being like the blankets was like something that she hadn't seen. And she was like,
Hmm.
that was like clutch because you are there
Yeah.
a long day. And
You're
it's
there a
like,
long time and you never know. Like sometimes you get cold, sometimes you just want to like,
yeah.
lay around. So that was, and then like it's kind of fun. Like when I go to like a girl's house, like the bridesmaids' houses afterwards, like one of my friends, she like has it in her den for like her dog, like because her
Yeah.
dog really likes it. So
You still see
it's
them
just, you
around.
still see them around. Yeah.
That's fun. Yeah. No, that's like a good mix of practical and
Hmm.
like kind of weekend specific, but just like occasion specific too. Because you
Yeah,
you always need a garment bag. Like,
exactly. And I had so many extras and I've like actually used them like when I go on trips now.
yeah. I mean, I kind of prefer it because you just put everything in
Yes,
there
it's
and
easier.
it's so easy,
You
especially
don't
if
have to
it's a
worry
car
about it.
ride.
Yes, just throw it in the back and you're fine. Yeah.
Yeah. So what I did we did a bridesmaids luncheon ahead
Mhm.
of time as well, which my
Mhm.
mom and I kind of like co-hosted.
Yeah.
And then I gave them their gifts there
Hmm.
just because I was like, I don't know. I didn't want
You
to
were
have,
also in town though. So like
yeah,
you
we
didn't have
were
to
in
worry about
town.
them like
Yeah.
traveling with it.
And the thing is that part of their gift was
Mhm.
like what they wore for
Yeah.
getting ready and whatnot.
Mhm.
But we didn't do any pictures in that.
I think I got like we did that for 5 minutes. Like I wasn't
Yeah.
someone that really wanted
Yeah. I
to.
didn't want the pictures. And so I kind of was like, I feel like I did it because I felt like I should do it.
Right.
And in hindsight, it's like, I really probably could have just been like, wear whatever you want. I don't care.
I know. I think I agree. The one thing though, I was in a wedding. They said wear whatever you want. And some of the girls forgot and wore like sweatshirts and it wasn't like the button. So it was
The
like
buttons. That is the point, I guess.
That was like,
Yeah, that's why we do it. Okay. Right.
I know. I had to remember that because I was like, why don't I just let them wear whatever they want? And then I was like, well, they can, but like also like this might just be easier to do.
Yeah. It's just it's set. It's there. And then I did like kind of the normal stuff of like the face masks, the chin straps, all of those things that I personally love.
Yeah.
I did like wet IVs and just like small like things that would be good for day of. We did. And then the bigger thing that I did for everyone, and I saw this actually online, shocking.
I saw everything online.
Was like I wanted to get a nicer piece of jewelry, but not like spend $200 on everyone. And so one of the influencers I follow, he went antiquing. And found like, because they have like nicer jewelry.
Yes.
And she found personalized pieces for all of her wedding party. And I was like, that's really fun. And so that was something that, and like up where my parents have a mountain house, they have nicer like antique stores.
The mountains do.
They do.
Yes.
And so I was able to like, I still spent like $150 on more of like maid of honors and got stuff that was like really nice that I don't think I would have gotten if I was just like at a jewelry store.
Probably not. And they would have definitely hiked the prices.
Yeah. And
like
that was
cheap stuff.
Yeah. And so that was, and it was really fun.
Yeah.
Because it was like a process. My mom and I like made kind of an event of it of like, I'm going up and then like, who does this look like? And who would like this? And all of that.
Fun. Yeah. So it's like personalized.
Yeah. And then I also got handkerchiefs for everyone and I actually wrapped them in the handkerchiefs.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, so that was fun. And then you did hair and makeup too. So it was just kind of the standard stuff. Didn't buy them their dresses. Sorry, girls.
Sorry, I didn't either. But I did tell them they could wear whatever black dress they wanted to.
So yeah, I feel like I really focused just on like simple.
Yeah. No, I agree. And now that she like mentioned the jewelry, I totally forgot that was one thing I did as well. I like got them all the earrings to wear on that day. Yeah. But I remember why I forgot. It's because that was the first thing I bought like so incredibly long ago. And it was so my old job, I used to manage a boutique. And so I would go to market sometimes and we went to market and it was like, we found this new vendor that we wanted for the store. It was like handmade, like jewelry and stuff like that. And so I actually got the earrings for the girls there, which also was really nice because I like got to pay like wholesale for them. But that's what like started like all of that. Yes.
Spurred the buying, the purchasing.
Yeah, because they were little bees, like the gold, like bees, and they had the blue from the Yeah, so that's like what kind of started, but I just wanted them all because they were all wearing different dresses. Yeah. But then I wanted them to all just wear the same ear. Yeah. So to pull it all together. So that was fun. But yeah, I agree. It's like sometimes you see stuff and it's like a ton of things, but like it's a ton of crap, you know? And I think that's the fine line. Like you want it to be special and like things that they want and not like chinchy or whatever, but they also have to go home with this. Like they have to pack this up and take it home. And is it
at the end of the night?
Yes, when
they could easily not.
True. So it's like you want to get them stuff that they want to take.
Yeah.
You know, that they're like looking forward to use and like, you know, is special to them. But you don't have to spend like a ton of money. Like, like don't let social media fool you. Like you don't have to get a ton.
So what would you say makes a bridesmaid's gift special in your opinion?
I think getting stuff that you know that your bridesmaids will like versus getting stuff that you like. I
Yeah.
feel like, you know, you could just buy a bunch of stuff that like says bride tribe or bridesmaids or,
Yeah.
you know, just like get a bunch of like stuff. But I think once you like really try to personalize it to like your girl's taste and like, you know, like how you did the antique stores with like the jewelry, like that was special. So it's not just like you went on Etsy or Amazon and picked out like bridesmaid gift bag with like all the stuff like already in there. Like I feel like when it looks like you curated it for your girls, it's more special.
Yeah, I think that is the big thing is like just making it personal. And I don't think, and I know that's one of the like top questions is like, oh, if you're feeling stuck and like, you know, how do you get started and all of that? And to your point, it's like, it doesn't have to be every tchotchke on the planet because you will, that stuff is less expensive. But then when you do a bunch of it, it adds up and it's just kind of like, could you have done one big thing that was the same price and maybe people will want?
Yes. Because it's like, yeah, like you can, at the end of the day, you are spending your money. So it's like, do you want to spend your money on crap that was a little cheaper that they might really just throw away at the end of the night? Or do you want them to feel like you are thankful for them? You know, like it's
is it
not
a check the box or
yes.
Is it like, no, thank you?
Right. Like, actually, thank you for being here and doing all of this. Because, like, it's even at the easiest weddings, like, it's still an effort to be there. So,
an effort and financially, it's a commitment. And I mean, the time.
Yeah. Because, I mean,
time
there's
is money.
Like, even if you don't do a ton of showers and stuff, there's still things that you commit to going to or, like, you know, and like a wedding's like a weekend, like the wedding's the night, but like it's a weekend. And like some people have to take off work and stuff. So, you know, you want it, like you were saying, not to just look like you checked the box, took a picture, put it on Instagram, and like that's that. Like you want them to actually feel appreciated for everything they've done. So
which she's not here, but I feel like Mary Lily, she did a good job of personalizing things, which I know we've talked about in other episodes of like, you know, engraving the pajamas and monogramming. I don't know.
I know. I like sometimes like I say the wrong one sometimes.
Monogramming the pajamas and like the charm bracelets and all of those things made it something that could have just been really like, oh yeah, like here's your day of pajamas, but just personalized it and like took it to another level.
Yeah. So for like another idea, if you're thinking, Mary Lily gave us all charm bracelets that her sister had made, right?
Yeah.
And she put like a personalized charm kind of on each one. Like I know I got like a starfish. Is that what they're called? Yeah. Sorry. I just had like the biggest brain fart.
Yeah.
Anyways, because like I really like the beach. Like I'm always at the beach. And then did you get
I got a 4-leaf clover. Because if you haven't heard, I'm Irish.
But she just kind of specialized and personalized everything to like our personalities. So that's just another idea if you're trying to think of, well, how can I personalize it?
Yeah. Which was really cute.
It was cute.
Okay, so you gave your gifts the day of. I did mine at the bridesmaids lunch, which was like, I don't know, a week or so before.
Okay.
And then what are some other common times that people will give their bridal party gifts?
Yeah, I've heard that some people give them after or like before the rehearsal, like that. But that was our rehearsal, and then our rehearsal dinner were in separate spots. So I like didn't want them to like, because it was like the rehearsal was at like, I don't know, 4:30, let's say, and then the rehearsal dinner was at like 5:15 or whatever. So I'm like, are they really gonna have like time to go put this up? Like I just didn't want it to be anything annoying that they had to keep up with. But I have heard that's a good time to get stuff, especially if everything's in like, if you're all in the same spot.
Yeah. The rehearsal, I had to give 2 of mine because they were traveling that time and at that time. And it was like, to your point, like since you gave them to them day of, it was like a same concept of like a teaser of like, hey, this is everything you need. And it made it easy. So we've seen that. of the rehearsal dinner, bridesmaids luncheon, and then day of as well.
And I have seen like if you are doing like the welcome bags or whatever,
Yeah.
if you can put those in with that for your bridesmaids, that would be easy. Like, because then like they
Yeah.
show up and they're there
They're there.
in their room. So if
Well, that's a
that
good
could be an
point.
idea too.
Some logistics for you.
Yes, I know. I feel like it's so much of it is logistics because
Yeah.
you're like a lot of these things, like you want them to have them for the day, like getting
Yeah.
ready or whatever, and just making sure that they end up where they
In the
need to
right
be.
place at
Yes.
the right time.
hmm
Well, what would you say? So we've talked about, okay, like you can get a bunch of like smaller things, and then sometimes that does add up. And then do they keep it? Do they use it? Or do you just get one bigger thing? What do you think is like how much is too much to spend or too little to spend?
I think that too much would be anything that's going to be like a stretch on you financially.
Yeah.
So I think that's just something you need to think about kind of like in the planning part of it.
Yeah.
And then that way you can also think about where you're going to get your stuff. Like I got like the bag from Amazon and I want to say they were like $10 a bag. And then was like, if you want to do like one big thing, then like put a budget on that. So
Yeah.
like, going into it. So you're not like, oh, I love this. And then you're like, oh, that's like twice what I wanted to spend. So I just feel like if you can just be like really honest with yourself, how
Yeah.
much you really want to spend, and you're not giving them receipts. They don't know how much this
Yeah, they don't know
stuff
how
is,
much,
so
unless you really
yeah.
do get everything from Amazon.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, no, I think trying to have a budget and even like in your entire gifting process of thinking through that, and you're not gonna like totally know up front until
No,
you start
you're
like
not.
shopping.
Mm-hmm.
And so I feel like what I tried to do early on in like kind of thinking about gifts was like make a note for myself of things that I really liked.
Yes.
And then that helped me be like, okay, like what would I really want to put in this? And then as you said, like get that budget set first and then figure out what your filler items could be.
Yeah. Because I feel like and I always knew at the end of the day, like if I didn't do anything else, I wanted to get them like hair and makeup. Like that was going to be something. So like you don't have to even do like gift bags. Like if you just want to do hair and makeup or hair, whatever you're doing for your wedding. And then like we did, obviously, like we provided like breakfast and like lunch and like all the little drinks and all the things like the day of, like you can do that, because I've heard a lot of bridesmaids say that that's like they've gotten the bridesmaid bags with the stuff, but they then had to pay for their hair and makeup, and the hair and makeup was required.
Yeah.
So like I kind of feel like I personally would rather have hair and makeup be paid for if it's a requirement for bridesmaids than to get a bag full of stuff.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind too, like because hair and makeup can be pricey, depending on who you go with and all that stuff. Or if like you want to do the dresses, like, and then dresses and or hair or something like that, like you don't have to like put together bags and like give them to anybody. Like you can really just pull up a spreadsheet. I feel like that's what I did too. I had like a spreadsheet of like the things I definitely wanted to do, and then like you're saying filler. So I like sent out polls like what they wanted, but I seen that on TikTok where it's like, out of these things, what would you want for your gift? And like you can put like, dress, hair and makeup, like slippers, all that stuff. Like see what's important to them too. And like make it anonymous. So like, they can be honest.
Yeah. They feel like they can really tell you how they feel.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I think it is easy to get caught up in all of the things. But at the end of the day, if your hair and makeup's required, that is what people are going to be really grateful to have covered.
Agreed.
Because it's not another like unexpected expense either.
Exactly.
Not that it would be unexpected, but when you sign up to be in a wedding, it's not like, oh, a default of like, I'm going to have to pay for this always.
Right. Exactly.
And so I think it's something that goes a long way in terms of appreciation. It makes it so it's not an extra.
Right. And there's not extra chatter also with your bridesmaids of like, they might be upset. Sorry if you're requiring it and not possibly paying for it. And then, but getting them other stuff.
Yeah.
So But going back to what I think would be too little, doing nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing at all.
Nothing at all.
And not even a note. Like you could even do like pictures that you have
Yep.
like of you and like your bridesmaid, like, just pictures from the past or whatever. And like, or I actually thought about doing this and I don't really remember why I didn't do it, but like at the end, like when I got my pictures back from my photographer, I was gonna like print them out, frame them, and like do
Yeah.
all that. I think it's just because I got my pictures back so late at that point. Like I think I got them back in February and I got married in November. So
Yeah.
like at that point, I was like, it's been a while, but
On to the next.
on to the next. Yes. But like, you don't have to like do stuff. Like you can do something really meaningful and like, write them a really nice thank you note and like reference like your friendship over the years and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
too little would be nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah.
And I think too, I literally had the same intention of like, oh, I'm going to like have some pictures printed and then totally
life
whiffed.
gets in the way.
Yeah. But if you're not going to do anything, that's a really good thing to do of like, pick up a cute frame at Marshall's or Home Goods, whatever. And, get some pictures printed, write a really nice note, and it's meaningful and it like captures the day.
Exactly.
And so there's lots of things that you can do that aren't in a big capacity.
That they'll still appreciate and want.
Yeah. And I do think just like the fact that you are like verbally appreciating them.
And nice to them.
Yeah. Nice.
Be nice to them, please.
Yeah. Don't bully them.
No.
Goes a long way.
Yes, it does.
Well, good. Any other closing ideas or thoughts before we wrap up?
You know your bridesmaids more than probably other people. So like you'll know what they want. And you know what they don't want. So just try and keep that in mind, even though you think something's super cute. Do they actually want that?
Yeah.
Maybe not.
Yeah. And don't try not to get carried away.
Yeah. Just like, honestly, what I did after I like started buying stuff, I like unfollowed lots of like people on like Instagram and TikTok and stuff, because there's always going to be something bigger, better, like, more elaborate out there. And you don't want to second guess what you've done. Like it's great for inspiration, but once you've already got your stuff together, you don't need to be inspired anymore.
Yeah.
So
you're good. You're good.
Done.
Just you do you.
Yes. Take it all away. You don't need to second guess anything.
No, definitely not. Well, good. Well, until next time.
Bye.
Bye.